In this video, we will learn what a risk-based digital security audit is, why you might need it or not, and which role the staff of human rights organizations plays during the process. We will also look at how such an audit can assist with the various stages of the risk management process. What is a risk-based digital security audit? It is an assessment of an organization's weaknesses, vulnerabilities, against the risks they are facing. Auditors assess processes, practices, information systems against the main risks that were identified to provide management with answers on how weak or not the organization is in relation to these risks. A risk-based digital security audit supports the risk management process and provides management with the necessary information to make the right decisions about risks during the risk treatment stage. The key questions to ask here are: what do we do with the risks? If we want to reduce the risks, what security measures do we choose? How do we implement these security measures in the best way possible? To better understand the nature of the risk-based audit, let's consider a scenario in which the organization has identified and prioritized the main risks, but lacks the necessary information to make decisions on how to deal with them. In this case, the role of auditors is to assist in collecting information and making decisions. The management of the organization should give the list of the main risks to auditors for them to conduct the assessment. Is the organization already protected from these risks? If not, what would be the auditor's recommendations on how to deal with them? What options does the organization have in terms of security measures and their implementation? To be able to answer these questions, auditors should look at the list of main risks received from the management and conduct interviews with staff members, including IT personnel, when applicable, and ask them to show the configurations of accounts, devices, and systems related to the risks of the organization. Conduct technical assessments of IT systems such as Office IT infrastructure, web infrastructure, corporate email system, custom database, etc. Check the organization's relevant processes and procedures, as well as their rules and policies, if any. Evaluate the organization's capacity to implement security measures, which will help to provide realistic recommendations. After a careful analysis of this information, auditors submit their findings to management and inform them about each risk. Is the organization protected or not? If not, what are the options to reduce the risk? How should they implement these security measures? Based on the information they receive from auditors, management moves to the next stage of the risk management process, risk treatment. Management has the responsibility to decide what to do with each of the risks: avoid, accept, reduce, mitigate, or share transfer. If the decision is to reduce, mitigate the risks, the management uses the information received from the auditors, selects proper security measures, and develops an implementation plan. Auditors may help management with the development of security measures and an implementation plan, but it's management's responsibility to make all the decisions and be the owner of the process. Auditors can be invited to check if the implementation is actually happening and how. The audit results can also be shown to donors to fundraise for the implementation of security measures. Fundraising could help with buying hardware or software, paying for services, or hiring additional staff members or specialized personnel. Now let's consider another scenario. In most cases, management will not be in a position to provide auditors with a list of the main risks because they were not able to identify and prioritize them without relying on external assistance. A risk-based security audit, because of its nature, cannot start without this list of risks. Without a list, the auditors don't know what to assess and against what risks. Auditors should not adopt the approach, "I don't know what your problems are, but here are the solutions," This is not a risk-based approach and would not be helpful in our risk management process. In this scenario, auditors can help management with the risk management process starting from the first stage, identify and prioritize the main risks. So auditors will assist the organization in creating a list of assets and unwanted events, threats that could happen to the assets, assessing these events based on their probability and impact, and creating a ranked list of risks. Only upon completion of the steps of this first stage, auditors can conduct the actual audit and provide management with information about how poorly or successfully the organization is doing in relation to these risks. They can then outline options on how to deal with them, possible security measures, and how to implement them. In cases where the organization may not have enough capacity to implement selected security measures, auditors can help with this step too. They can assist with the monitoring, evaluation, and improvement process, as well as in initiating the repeat stage and the start of the next risk management cycle. As we know, depending on the organizational structure, the responsibility of risk management is on the person or the group of people that make decisions, generally management, and should not be delegated. Management has the responsibility to organize the auditing process. For example, this includes asking what is needed, assigning a person to help the auditors with logistics, organizing a schedule for the interviews, and making sure all key staff members are available for the interviews, etc. Management and all those involved should be available during the audit in the established time frame. The management should announce and explain to staff members what is happening, why, and what is expected from them. In preparation for the audit, make sure you select a relatively relaxed period for everyone to be available and free from any burning tasks and deadlines. Staff members should help the auditors collect the information needed by openly and honestly answering their questions, showing their accounts and devices configurations, and sharing their security concerns. Let's wrap up. In cases in which we know what are the main risks, auditors provide answers about these risks, assess the current level of protection for an organization, and provide options on how to become more secure. If we don't have the list of the main risks problems, auditors help to create the list and assist in going through the entire risk management process. It is crucial to select trusted and experienced auditors and be clear about our expectations. Ideally, a risk-based audit should be organized every year, every time we repeat the risk management cycle. Stay safe.